Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Supatease, and if you don't know who I am a professional shoutcaster for World of Warcraft esports. And today I wanted to make a video on some tips to become a better shoutcaster. So if you're interested in becoming a shoutcaster and learning more about what it does and what you can do with it, this video should be for you. So let's start off with the what. This is an important part of shoutcasting. You need to know and understand the topic you're discussing. For gaming, this could include anything from team compositions, counter picks, build orders, or class champion abilities. The more what you know, the more time you can fill with valuable information. It's important to understand that the commentary should make the viewer want to play the game later. So if you can give them useful pieces of advice or tips to help them learn and start up, that would be ideal. Another important part, and maybe even more important part of knowing what to say, is to understand the flow of the game you're commentating. Most importantly, where are the exciting and emotional points in a game, along with where are the low and less engaging points in a match. The difference between the two can be obvious in the moment, such as players at low health, being surrounded, being pushed back, or being picked off. But as a shoutcaster, you don't want to just live in the moment. You want to be able to predict the moment and that's why the more information you know about your game, the easier this will become. Studying a game can be quite simple. You can start by just playing more, going to a community website and studying up, or watching professional streamers. Try to pick up tips where the games are going to swing from dull moments to exciting moments so you can better predict those in a tournament match. Now that we know what we're talking about, we need to know how to talk about it. Now, how you speak can be more important than anything else in reality. Even if you're completely lost or have no idea what's going on in a match, your tone of voice will showcase the events in a game, even more than the actual words you're using. For example, during a dull point in a game where there isn't any exciting actions, such as teams getting kills or taking objectives, you don't want to be speaking 10 million words per minute about how high one of the player's creep scores is. This time should be filled with a medium tempo or normal talking speed and used to educate the viewers by speaking more about the team's strategies or potential upcoming decisions. Now, in the opposite example, if the teams are forcing kills or getting objectives, you don't want to be speaking in a slow, monotonous voice. You want to speed it up. You want to be talking a little bit faster, as your pace of your voice will dictate what's going on in the game, often more so than what you're actually talking about. So if you notice that kills are happening, objectives are being taken, speed up your voice a bit. Get a little bit more excited. Get into it. Dig into the emotions of the match. Your excitement level will dictate the enjoyment to the people watching. Now, there's three main different points of speaking tempo, or how you're speaking. To go into it with a little bit more detail, you have your slow speaking, your medium average speaking, and your oh my god, I'm a rap guy, so you really fast speaking, for simplicity's sake. Now, normally, you don't use slow speaking except during introductions or outros, or basically the end of a match. Examples of this would be an introduction such as, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen," or as a game is ending, "Team A has claimed victory, GG." Now, these slow speaking voices, they can sound a tad cheesy, so find a good point for yourself. You definitely don't want to overuse slow speaking, but it has its moments. If a final match in a tournament is going down to Game 5, and one team has claimed victory through one of the most stressful matches you have ever seen, feel free to add in a slow GG at the end of that game. It's going to hype up the match. It's going to make the viewers enjoy it even more. So definitely experiment with slow speaking, but I would suggest not overusing it. Now moving into medium speaking, this is where your voice will remain for most of the match, much like I'm speaking right now. It's just going to be an average pace. You want to make sure that it's easy to understand, but you also want to make sure that it's not resident sleeper or boring. You want to sound engaging. I mean, it's your voice that everyone hears, and they're watching the game at the same time. So you want to also sound engaging, but you don't want to be speaking too fast. You want to leave space. You want to engage the viewer in general. And you use your medium speaking voice to explain game mechanics, team strategies, or just general talking points with your co-casters. Now, moving into the more exciting part of a game, when you engage your fast-speaking voice, your rap god voice, and this is something that you'll want to practice on your own, maybe in a mirror. Just speaking really fast can be a challenging thing, so you'll want to work up onto that. Start by going slow, slowly speeding up your talking pace, and then eventually you'll get there. So, important to be practicing that if you want to be using any fast-speaking tempos, but you want to be using these during exciting moments of the games. The players are about to kill. They're jumping on them. They're picking them off. This is it. They're taking everything. You want to know that there's also a bit of space as well. Using space and tempo can create emotion, and that's the most important part about commentating, is creating a storyline and getting your viewers engaged emotionally with what's going on in the screen. If you can't get them engaged, if they don't understand, you're not doing your job. So these are very important points to go over and to practice in your free time. So that's basically the how you're speaking. Now moving into the who you're speaking to. Who is an important topic. When you're shoutcasting, some of the audience will understand all of the game jargon and the basic mechanics. However, there is also a large part of the viewership that doesn't have any idea what's going on, let alone have the entire game memorized. And it's important to cater to both of the viewerships. Don't speak in full game jargon or acronyms that general viewers just won't understand. You're going to need to explain that first. Try to speak in simple terms when explaining game mechanics. For example, a player is locked down, a player is stunned. Don't use the exact game ability names necessarily unless you're going to explain it later. Now obviously in the moment when you're getting hyped, everything is going down, players are getting killed, objectives are getting taken, the game is about to end, you want to be as comfortable as possible. Speak to the ability names that you know, make it clear for clarity's sake, and then after the moment, explain what happened, break it down, explain what the abilities are, how the players wanted to use them, but don't be educational and explaining during a high emotional point in the game. Remember, you're telling a story, so don't get bogged down in the details when there's an exciting thing going on. Just get in there and explain it and hype the audience up. So all of these things together will then improve you as a shoutcaster, so you can work on your tempos of speaking, your slow, your medium, your fast. Practice talking to different audiences. Practice commentating to someone who has no idea what's going on. Practice commentating to somebody that understands the game perfectly. And remember that as a commentator, you are a storyteller, so just speaking in general will help you improve as a commentator. And again, go watch streams, go to community websites, educate yourself about your game so you have more talking points so you can clearly understand the flow and the change in a match. Now I hope that these tips today will help you improve as a shoutcaster if that's something that you want to go after. Other than that, my name is Supatease and I am signing off.